It's May 2025, and I've just been told by Nationwide that they're going to give me £100 for nothing. So apparently they've been doing this since 2023, and basically because of our building society, they've started giving their members part of the bonus from their big profit margins. So when they make big profit margins, they're going to try and do this. They say they're going to try and do it next year. So most people will qualify. Well, you will qualify. There's There's two ways mainly. I'll tell you more about it later. You've got to have a current account with them, with money going into it regularly. I, I'll talk about that later. And the other thing is you either need a savings account or a mortgage with them. I don't know, maybe the savings account you need £100 in them, I don't know, but round about March, if you have that in by March, up till June or whatever, you'll maybe qualify each year. I don't know. That's what it's been like so far. So I'll tell you more about it because I've just looked up Google Gemini about this. So I don't know much about it, but I'm just telling you now. It seems in 2023, Nationwide started a fairer share scheme, they call it, or initiative. And basically, when they make profits, they're going to share the profits with their members in a few ways. One way is they're going to give better interest rates on savings, maybe mortgages as well, I don't know. But yeah, so that's fairly typical. But they never did really. They just used to behave like a bank, really. But they're going to do that. But the unique thing is that they're also going to give qualifying members, qualifying is a word to use, qualifying members, but that could be quite a lot of years, maybe 90% of years or something. They're going to give them £100 each year, or that's what they've said at the moment. They're going to give you a share of the profits for being a customer, basically, because customers are members. And yeah, I just found out about this year because the other years I didn't have anything in savings. I thought interest rates were so low, I didn't even bother with savings. I just left it all in my current account. But it turns out I was wrong because interest rates were very high actually. And but also Nationwide have done this since 2023. They give £100 each year. So if you've been in this the last 3 years, you've got £300. So let's see what Google Gemini is saying. By Nationwide, building society to share its profits with eligible members. As a building society, Nationwide is member-led, so when it makes profits, a portion of this cash is returned to its customers. But the thing is, up until 2023, building societies really behaved like banks, really. They didn't really give their members anything, in my opinion. They weren't even the best for interest rates. So they've obviously had a real change of heart in 2023. Here's a breakdown of the key aspects for the most recent payment, 2025. £100 payment made to eligible Nationwide members. This is the third year Nationwide has made such a payment, and that's people with a current account where money is regularly getting in from some external source, and also either a savings account or a mortgage. Nationwide has committed to returning a record £2.8 billion to members over the past year, which includes £1 billion in direct payments to eligible members and £1.8 billion in better than average rates and incentives. So, I mean, that's how much profit they're making as a building society. I mean, they're only doing this from profits, and I'm not sure that even means that they would just made 2.8 billion. That might just be what they're giving to this fairer share scheme. Um, so, yeah, well done Nationwide. You're behaving like a building society finally. Who is eligible for the £100 payment in 2025? To be eligible for the £100 fairer share payment, you needed to meet the following criteria as of March 31st, 2025. 1. Qualifying current account. You must have had an open Nationwide current account. What qualifies depends on the type of account. Flex account, Flex Basic, Flex Direct. In 2 of the 3 months of January, February and March 2025, you must have either received at least £500 into your account, transfers from other Nationwide accounts don't count, and made at least 2 payments out. So you must have got £500 externally into that Nationwide current account. You couldn't take it from your savings account. And that's 2 of the 3 months from January, February and March 25. And you must have made at least 2 payments to something, you know, council tax, whatever, BBC licence. And here's another way. Or made at least 10 payments out of your account. Well, that's probably easier. So you're not getting any money coming in. Then you could have at least made 10 payments going out. You know, I wonder if that just means direct debits or if it means just general payments. It probably just means general payments, actually, I think. You'll need to check. And then they've got other current accounts, Flex 1, Flex Student, Flex Graduate. I think this is mainly for student types. So you can read that yourself there. They've got another one, Flex Plus. Simply paying the monthly fee counts. Yeah, because I've got a monthly fee one that you can do. So if you're paying that, you're in for the £100. Current account switch. If you completed a full current account switch to Nationwide between January 1st and March 31st, 2025, that also qualifies. So I'd imagine you would only do that once, you know. And then I think this is the other thing you have to do. Plus either qualifying savings or a qualifying mortgage. So qualifying is the main bit. Qualifying savings. You must have had at least £100 in total across one or more personal savings accounts or cash ISAs with Nationwide at the end of any day in March 2025. This excludes Nationwide business savings accounts and investment accounts like stocks and shares ISAs. So they've got quite a few savings accounts. I would advise anyone to just keep £100 in one of them at all times, you know, really. Then you should qualify for the next year. For that part of it. Or you've got a qualifying mortgage. I think this is the other option. You must have owed at least £100 on your Nationwide residential mortgage on March 31st, 2025. So that's another way. Most of us, I think, well, a lot of people have got mortgage. Most of us, current account and savings seems the easiest way. You don't really want to take a mortgage out unless you have to. And when will the payments be made? Eligible members will receive their £100 payment directly into their Nationwide current account between June the 14th and July the 24th, 2025. So that's this year. I guess it would be the same next year because in the email I got it said we're going to try and do the same next year as well. So I guess it all depends on profit margin and how big that profit is basically. Other benefits for members. In addition to the £100 payment, Nationwide has also announced a new member exclusive bond offering a competitive fixed savings rate, a £200 member only switching incentive for those who switch their main current account to Nationwide with specific conditions, and tax implications. The £100 payment is generally treated as savings income for tax purposes. So I don't think anybody, nobody will really bother. We don't pay tax and savings now, don't we not? Even if we did, they would have paid it. So so that's £100. When you think the BBC licence fee is £180, that's you nearly paying that every year for nothing, for just having a current account and savings. So the minimum thing you could do is £100 in a qualifying savings account, and £500 goes into your current account from an external source within those 2 months, January, February and March. So that's the way to think of it. If you've got something going in there all the time, then you qualify anyway, you know, like your wage or a benefit or a pension. They'll all qualify, I guess, for that current account thing. And I'm just annoyed because I didn't know about this. I just read about it in the Daily Mail the other day. And the other thing that's annoying about it really is that Nationwide, since that, they've just behaved like a bank, really. Except you're not a shareholder, you don't get any dividends. They didn't have competitive savings rates, really. Maybe a bit. They didn't give you any money like this. So they've had a real change of thought since 2023. I don't know why, but I really call this a building society now, you know, because banks give dividends to shareholders, not their customers. Here, Nationwide don't have shareholders, so they're giving their money to their members, who are their customers, basically. I suppose the other big business that could do this would be Co-op. I'll need to check that out. Maybe Co-op started doing this sort of thing. But can you imagine if companies with no shareholders start giving you free money? That's fantastic. Because the only the only reason I get involved with Nationwide in the past is to vote the directors out, in the hope that they would become a bank, and then we would get a one-off big share. Well, we get shares actually, maybe worth about £1,000 or something at the time. So that was the only reason I used to vote in the Nationwide thing. But now I would vote for them all the time to stay as they are, a building society, because now they're behaving like a building society. So I just checked a few other things. I just checked the current Bank of England interest rate. It's 4.2.5%. It's going to go down, I think, quite a lot, because it went up because of COVID, basically. I mean, since 2008, there's been times where there's been almost zero interest rate, and there was even talk of making it negative in some countries, I think, because since that big crash in 2008, the economy has been a 0% interest economy, basically. And this has been seen as a good thing, and I don't know why, because in a healthy economy, it should be around about 3%, 4%, really. I think that's what it used to be. You used to get, because it means that people with savings, it's worth saving, basically, because you're making something on interest. But it went down to 0%, I think, for maybe mortgage holders or something, and since then we've been 0% most of the time, or 1%, say, more, uh, most of the time. But because of COVID and that, and the Ukraine crisis, we've way up, sky high, because inflation went all the way up. I mean, we've been up at 5.5% recently. Yeah, August 2024, it was up at 5.25%. In a way, I would say that's a healthy economy in the sense that you used to get interest rates like that, but for mortgage rate holders, it's terrible. And that's what the government's always put first, mortgage holders. November 24, cut from 5% to 4.75, February down to 4.5, May down to 4.25. It's going to keep going down because inflation's went way down. So in terms of interest, things are going to get pretty bad again, probably for savers. I mean, for mortgage holders, it's going to be great. But that seems to be the way our economy is now. But the thing about this as well is that Nationwide are using 1.8 billion to give good interest rates and incentives as well. So they're using a big portion of their profits to give, because they've actually got some sort of £200 a month thing at the moment that gives 6.5% interest. I mean, you'll not beat that anywhere, I don't think. You can put £200 a month in it. You can only withdraw a few times a year, I think 3 times or 4 times. So, yeah, so that must be the savings that they're focusing on at the moment. So if you're a Nationwide thing, you really want to be using that, I would imagine, because it's way above the interest rate, the Bank of England rate. It's way above inflation. So let's look at some. I looked at the best interest rates in the market, really, for instant savings, really instant. Standard Edge Saver 6.76 or 7%. It's got a £3 monthly fee, and it's really usually for only over £4,000. So there's all sorts of things too difficult for that. I'll look at the cons of them all. Cons may have a higher minimum deposit, e.g. £5,000. I've not heard of these banks even. Cons, punishes withdrawals, that was 4.75. Visa 4.63, doesn't say any cons there. Catch, may limit the number of penalty-free withdrawals per year up to 4. Chip, instant there, 4.6. Cons, new customer bonuses may expire. Some reports suggest limits on penalty-free withdrawals per 12 months. So these have all got sort of cons. I mean, remember, Nationwide have got one where you can put £200 a month in for 6.5%. So even in that, well done Nationwide, you're starting to behave like a building society now. Yeah, and this is good. This is good places to look in my opinion. Moneyfactscompare.co.uk, yeah, check Moneyfacts. Money Saving Expert, yes, check there. Money.co.uk, I've not really visited that one that often, but those first two, yeah, I would imagine the three of them, yeah, definitely check those out, especially Money Savings Expert, because he tells you the truth really. And then I looked at Nationwide to look at their accounts currently. They've got their regular saving account. This is the one I'm talking about. Flex Regular Saver allows monthly deposits up to £200. The rates can drop significantly if you make more than 4 withdrawals in the term. So, and then as I start to save 2, that's 5.5%. The other one's 6.5. It's variable, so it's not going to stay like that unless they're going to take a hit off their profits. Easy access, I've got 2.75. I mean, that's good for easy access, you know. Instant access, 1.55, 1.8, that's not really very good. Reward saver, 3.3. Yeah, so personally, I think everybody should be moving over to Nationwide because they're starting to behave like a building society. They're starting to give their customers part of the profit as if they're shareholders. So they're giving, you could call it a dividend, really, at £100 a year maybe. Limited access accounts, so they've got some 4%. These are awkward ones, 5%. Yeah. So it's definitely, Nationwide is definitely behaving like a building society now. I hope this is the way that the building societies and cooperatives are going to start behaving. They're not going to behave just like banks or shops anymore, supermarkets. I wonder what Co-op are up to now. Maybe they're doing good stuff. But really, if you've got a spare £100 for savings and you could open up a current account, the minimum you can put in is like £500 over January, February and March to the current account. That should qualify you. I think you've also got to take money out as well. I'll do a better version of this if this does well, this post video. Let's see the current accounts again, just to get another look. Received at least £500 into your account, but it can be from your other savings accounts with the Nationwide, or made at least 10 payments. So there you go. If you made 10 payments, you could do that to anybody. I mean, eBay, anything. So that's probably the easiest way. Get a current account with them, make 10 payments with the current account, keep £100 in a qualifying savings account. But personally, I would just use them now anyway, you know. Like I say, I used to vote the directors out every year to try and force them to go public and become a bank, and I would get a freebie. I would get shares, maybe worth £1,500 or something, you know, pure carpetbagging, but they deserved it because they were just like a bank. Okay, that's everything for now. Bye bye.